my friend, we are ready.
Good morning, friends. I bring good news and bad news. The good news is that Unitarian Universalism is alive and well in Victoria.
Woo!
The bad news is that our friends and neighbors in the United Church of Canada and the Anglican Church. In less than 20 years, there will be no Anglicans in Victoria, or at least not enough to sustain the costs of building maintenance and staff salaries. The UVic Centre for Study of Religion and Society hosted an event a few months ago that included the moderator of the United Church of Canada and the Bishop of Christchurch Cathedral. And they asserted, yep, for the Anglican Church, it's over. Maybe not even in 20 years. Across Canada, the United Church closes one congregation per week. Less than a year ago, the board of First Metropolitan United Church, many of us know First Met, which is already an amalgam of 3 United Church congregations, voted to shut its doors and merge with a congregation in Saanich. Organized religion is in decline in Victoria, in British Columbia, and in Canada. The province of Quebec has been going through this massive shift since the late 1960s. Although many Quebecers answer the census religion question with, "I'm a Roman Catholic," almost nobody attends Mass in Quebec, and most of the historic churches have been shut for years. Statistically, now coming to here, the people who live in the watershed of the Cascade Mountain Range, BC, Washington, Oregon, and Northern California, let's call this place Cascadia for shorthand. The people in Cascadia are the least religious people in North America. Unlike in Quebec, though, Cascadian people feel free to give authentic answers to the religion question on the census, so we have a better idea of what's going on. What it comes down to is that only oddballs go to church on Sunday morning. Organized religion is on the way out for Quebecers and for white British Columbians of European descent. Spirituality, on the other hand, grips many of us in Victoria. People in Cascadia, Americans call this the Pacific Northwest. People in Cascadia feel that it is normal to walk in the forest, stroll along the beach, swim in the ocean, for heaven's sakes, and spend time in nature. Most people I talk to would say they find connection to the divine when they are in nature. And I see heads nodding in the room. They might not be able to define what they mean by divine, but they know that it is in nature. Prominent sociologist Dr. Paul Bramadat calls this reverential naturalism. Reverential naturalism, which starts not with religion, but with an enriched and open naturalism. Many Unitarians would accept reverential naturalism as a description of their core spirituality. Many Unitarians would also accept yoga and meditation as pathways to spiritual wholeness in a way that people in Ontario still don't quite get. I also feel that many of my Unitarian brothers and sisters have a complex relationship with God or the gods, and with questions of ultimate reality. But your sense of spirituality is pretty clear. Paul Bramadat defines spiritual as a profound and usually positive experience that helps individuals find their authentic self and connects them to a mysterious, universal, or overarching reality. So I've told you a little bit about religion and a little bit about spirituality, but I've left much of the definition in your own heads. The Religious Studies Department at UVic and at many universities struggles to define religion and spirituality. Entire courses are spent on that, so I wasn't going to launch completely into it. Historically, wives accepted the religion of their husbands. When children came along, those children were automatically accepted into the religion of their parents. Until the 1960s and the rise of individualism in North America, Baptist parents had Baptist children, Roman Catholic parents had Roman Catholic children, and even United Church parents had United children. During the late 1960s and 1970s, many parents stopped insisting that their children follow the ancient family religion. Parents themselves stopped attending church and synagogue. Children became disconnected from organized religion. So decades ago, a Christian website developed a quiz to help people discover which religion most closely mapped to their existing beliefs. The developers of the Belief-O-Matic quiz saw that many people aged 20 to 40 had no close connection to a particular religion, but those people have values and beliefs. The free and hassle-free Belief-O-Matic quiz could help the curious to find a spiritual or religious home. Raise your hand if you've ever done the online Belief-O-Matic. Oh, good. For those of you who raised your hand, were you surprised at the result? Oh, no. Interesting. I know 10 people who came to Unitarian Universalism and to a Unitarian congregation for the first time after doing the quiz and being told that they shared values and beliefs with UUs. I recently retook the Belief-O-Matic quiz. The answers were strikingly similar to 20 years ago. 1 secular humanist, 2 Unitarian, 3 atheist, or something like that. One thing I noticed this time is that Brahmadat's reverential naturalism is not well represented in the quiz questions. As I answered each question, I thought about how the typical Pacific Coast, Cascadian, lefty, progressive, yoga-stretching, whale-loving, occasional cannabis-using, forest-walking friend would answer it. I figured that the result would be SBNR, spiritual but not religious. Yes to spiritual, to being open to authenticity of the self and the nature of the universe, but no to religious, as in living by a set of rules or guidelines that lead to a closer connection to God or the norms of behavior in a congregation, SBNR. SBNR is different from the religion group that is the fastest growing in Canada. And do you know what the fastest growing group by the census is? The nuns. N-O-N-E-S. People who have no connection to any religion. People who are nuns in Victoria might still have a deep sense of reverential naturalism, but they don't see that as religious or spiritual. For now, I'm going to leave the nuns for a future homily. I'm going to conclude with a confession of sorts. My Ukrainian Catholic friends tell me that confession is good for the soul, but I don't believe in souls, so I smile and nod at my Catholic brothers and sisters. I've told you about SBNRs and nuns and all that. Me, I'm not a spiritual guy. I don't believe in the metaphysical, nor in human souls, nor in the personhood of nature or of the earth. I love trees. I love the forest and the ocean for reasons to similar to my love for fossilized dinosaurs and distant galaxies. Because nature is fucking amazing. Nature is supernatural enough. Philosophically, I am humanist and materialist, and not any kind of spiritualist. But I am religious about being a Unitarian. I attend services regularly. I'm comforted by the liturgy of the UU service. You might think we don't have a liturgy, but you know, the opening words, chalice lighting, first hymn, pebbles, sing more, homily, sing again, closing words, linking song. I sing the songs and I speak the words. I love pebbles of joy and concern. I regularly put a check in the basket. I love the religious community that we have here at Capital. For those reasons, I count myself as RBNS, religious but not spiritual. RBNS. I'm so happy to be back at our Capital UU congregation. UUism is my religion, and you are my people. Whether you are SBNR, RBNS, Christian Unitarian, Wiccan Unitarian, Sufitarian, Junitarian, Buddhitarian, atheist, or other. I share with you the core principles that all persons have inherent worth and dignity, that all persons are responsible for a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, and that, in the words of Unitarian martyr Francis David, we do not need to think alike to love alike. May it ever be so.
May it be so.
Now let us sing.